Welcome back, YouTube. We are going to talk about some very important things coming up this current week and what that means for price action on a lot of the top cryptos, and really just kind of what we're going to get into depending on what that price action will look like. So, if we look here at Bitcoin, and I wanted to point this out first before I got into the events coming up this week. We've been talking about for the last few weeks, we said that if Bitcoin didn't build strength very soon, it was having a very weak moment. Momentum was down. It wasn't going to be able to make that 25K threshold. And we were more than likely going to have to go lower to grab some liquidity to even talk about challenging some of those higher levels of resistance. And obviously that's what's happened. But if we look here, you'll see how I want to point out this support, technically support right now is very weak that we're getting right now around the 21 range. And that's still technically another fill. This similar gap down that we've seen. We can certainly, if we're not gap enough of the liquidity here, which it looks like most people are waiting on around Tuesday, Wednesday to kind of get an idea, it's possible that we can retest that 20 range. And I'm going to switch over to some other coins here, but if you don't know what I'm talking about for this week, the important numbers, I'm talking about the CPI numbers. They come out Tuesday, and this is going to give the market an idea of what to expect for the March meeting. Powell gave some very compelling theories here, saying that they're going to release their revised numbers. Will it still be 5.25? Will it be higher? Will it be lower? That's going to be a major catalyst here to revise those numbers, because that's going to give us an idea going forward of where the Fed is thinking we are inflation-wise. Are they going to continue rate hiking? Are they going to pause, or are they going to cut it down to 5? So will the next rate hike be the last one? It's a lot of ways that this can go. And I think that this has kind of pulled some of the momentum out of the market, because we've seen the market give up some gains that it's recently had over the past 5 weeks overall, last week as well. And this can do a lot to the momentum and a lot of the charts that people kind of had, because the market is going lower, and potentially it may not just be grabbing liquidity. It could be panic if these numbers are bad. So that's what we're going to have to look forward to on Tuesday. Let's switch over here to Doge. Doge had the gap down as well. Obviously, they're kind of trending together. Doge has similar to Bitcoin, has some weak support here, but it's actually holding up on the previous trend line that we have. Is actually getting some bounces off of there, but it's pretty much on par with like that high 7, low 8 range. And same thing, if Bitcoin breaks down to around 20, it's possible that we can retest like the 7 range here, at least for right now. We'll see how far, if they get that breakdown, or if Powell says he's not going to pivot, because we got a lot of those gains. Even when the market was rallying, it was because he was saying that we're going to revisit those numbers and we'll make those adjustments. And if there's no need to be that harsh, blah, 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 then we'll certainly make that call to pretty much, pivot or make those adjustments a little earlier, versus holding out throughout the year, or going to 5.25 and staying there for the rest of the year. They wouldn't rule out pivoting, and as long as the evidence supported that, i.e. core inflation. So it looks like we kind of, even the market here, people are kind of, the volume, you can look at it, it's either, if it's not red, it's not coming in. So you can look at it as some slight panic, and also potentially people are just waiting. I believe most people are waiting, because even if you look at shorts here, I always use shorts as an indicator of any panic that's in the market, because these people capitalize off of it. And you'll see some shorts coming in, but nothing catastrophic here. So nothing that they haven't done over the previous few weeks. So they're actually even down from yesterday. So nothing that has indicated that just yet, but I think we're going to have a lot of answers to the questions we're looking for on Tuesday, when we kind of get a concrete idea as far as for where the Fed's going to be, and the market's going to find out if they priced should they price in fear, should they price in greed. And those are the answers we're going to get this week. And I think that's going to be a great catalyst to at least wrap up the first quarter. Well, give us an idea really the second quarter, because next month obviously be the last month of this quarter, but we'll kind of have a certain idea of where we're going. Yes, gap down, same thing. You have Bitcoin, the identical pattern, the sell-off. And right here as well, Ethereum support is actually a lot stronger. We've had two or three bounces around this area, but it does not mean it's it's going to hold up, because Ethereum can actually get hit the hardest. So this will be a great pickup here if we fill this gap. Ethereum's in a very tough spot right now. So if all does not end well this week, or if we get a shock in the market, Ethereum can fall to, I won't say to hell, but you can get Ethereum for probably about three or $400 cheaper this week. That gap down is going to be nasty, and you can see it's filled out several times. So this is highly likely to fill going forward, because you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's filled the previous 5 times, so I have no reason to doubt that this is going to happen again if that news is unfavorable. So we have to kind of keep that in mind. We're going to have to kind of keep that in mind going forward here, because that can be a great pickup to kind of add to your portfolio here. Let's take a look here at Cardano. Cardano has some stair steps, but so not in serious trouble until you get around 32 cent, and then you're going to have like that Ethereum effect. So you have a few levels before you get there. And let me take another look here at Doge to see if they're at that level, because Bitcoin and Doge, I believe. So similar here, just on a much smaller scale. So you can see a similar pattern here. And like I said, with Ethereum, it's filled 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times in that range. So because you did get a break here at around 7. So yeah, if we break here, they're all pretty much in a similar trajectory. They got the gap downs, and they're at that next level, that a very weak level of support. So probably waiting on the news Tuesday. And if not, we can revisit some of these lower levels if there's panic in there, or it shifts. On a positive note, if it comes out favorable and some of the indicators for core inflation, rent rates, and stuff like that are in favor of some of the things Powell outlined, then we can see the opposite reaction. We can see strength come back into the market, and everyone says that, oh, okay, where everything's great. It looks like we're going to get that pivot and start pricing that pivot in, and then you're going to see some gains. So it's really all eyes on Tuesday before we kind of get an idea of what the second quarter is going to look like for crypto and for the markets. So that's what we're going to be focusing on here. And as we get information, I'll provide it and weigh in with my opinions. And of course, I will break down some of the things Powell is talking about as well. If you find anything valuable, like this video, share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you at the next update.